Welcome back, everybody, to Coast to Host. I'm Jacob Chavez.
And I'm Luca. DL. Sure.
I don't know why you... I like how you said, you were unsure. Like this was a surprise to you.
It's a big decision. That whatever
Yeah.
name I go with is my name forever. Maybe.
We call him Big Bitch Luca, but we sometimes we call him George, we call him Spank. These are nicknames.
That one. Yep, that one for sure.
Yeah. So this week we finally we have some structure. We actually decided to put bare minimum effort into a podcast. And we decided to go segments, and we gave them each segment is we both like rap and hip hop, so each one has a rap or hip hop based
Top
segment.
10 beers to butt chug by Luca and Jacob. Number 1,
Corona.
Let's go.
Dude, you know what's terrible too? Genuinely, that should be number 1, because it's so fucking terrible. It tastes so much like shit that obviously Corona's number 1.
It really is quite bad. I've only had one beer in my life, and it was that. And it was literally the most heinous thing I've ever had.
That was my first
Couldn't
beer too.
recommend it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
we were the same bottle tip. We were both just
Same
Like,
operating table.
drinking out of a
Getting
tip.
Surgery.
Jeez.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna try to do it based off rap segments, and then we were gonna have the first half be more a catch up of the weekly topics, and the second half of the podcast, we're gonna go more into our professional careers. As me, I someone in the film industry. I want to be a writer and director. I know it's basic. I'm sorry, and Luca does stand up. So we're gonna talk more about our professional creative lives in the second half of this dumbass podcast that we did because we thought it was fun. Okay, you ready?
Hell yeah.
In this segment, we're going to talk about people we hate. Luca, is there someone this week that you hate that you think is a
Of
bitch?
course. I'll give you 2.
Go for it.
Newmain and Blueface. Newmain, because obvious reasons. Just scroll through his TikTok. You couldn't be more obvious. This
Yeah.
man takes pride in it, so loves being the villain. And Blueface for having shit breath. I don't know if you saw that clip, but
I didn't.
did you see that clip?
Oh, when he does this?
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. And Blueface is just, his new song is pretty good, but I hate how mean he is to Aiden Ross. I've talked to you about that.
You did.
before,
Yeah.
And he needs to humble himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
And for all his,
he's a nice guy.
yeah, for all these who are unsure, just in case anyone's unsure of any of these people, Blueface is a rapper, and he's also everyone's fantasy. He's every woman's fantasy and a rapper. He's both things.
Yeah.
Very difficult job.
Right.
And he did Tatiana.
Which, I get it. If you're every
Right.
woman's fantasy, you
Right.
have the right to have a certain swagger to you. And then he also calls his mom stupid, which is okay, baller move. All right, cool,
Right.
that's pretty cool and shit. But you need to chill on Aiden. You can call your mom
Right.
stupid, but not Aiden.
Well, his mom was stupid because she did that to him. As he calls out in that song,
Yeah,
it was her
her
fault.
fault.
Right. She's...
Don't be
Right.
mad at him.
You
It's
can't
your
be mad at
fault,
him.
dude.
You can't be. It's your fault. You have to.
Yeah.
And then Newmain is a TikToker asshole who acts. He acts and he steals people's TikToks. And he finally kicked off TikTok.
Exclusively.
Yeah, none of it's his original
No,
content.
he
and
didn't get kicked off.
Oh, I think he did.
It's because you were probably looking at Newmain. He changed his name to Kane.
Oh, what a bitch. Okay, look, great. He is a bitch. And they're gonna box, and I hope Blueface just fucks up that kid.
I can't imagine a world where he doesn't. If he doesn't, that's the most embarrassing thing ever. He's literally a D1
Yeah.
athlete. He's gonna eat him alive.
And he's huge. He's 6'4", isn't he?
Yeah, and Newmain is a little freaking munchkin.
Yeah.
He's skinny and
Yeah.
it looks like he's never fun. Well.
I was thinking about reach.
And
Just the reach of him.
It's not boxing. It's bare knuckle. The man's gonna die.
Yeah. Well, cause that's me one of those they're only gonna get one round in. There's no way they're gonna last longer than a
UFC,
round.
It's what you've been begging for.
Yeah. No, I would love if celebrities went to the UFC. Only be not against UFC fighters, obviously, because they would die. But if they went against each other, because it's not enough time to learn anything, so they would just wrestle. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
You know, iCarly started this whole thing. They predicted it.
Yeah,
said,
they did.
Celebrity boxing. How crazy is that?
I think it was UFC. She was a UFC fighter.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Shelby
really
Marks.
dope.
Yeah.
Love that for them.
Yeah, good for them.
All right, who do you hate?
Fuck.
Lucas
There's a guy.
Smitty.
I was gonna say there's a guy named Smitty. Yeah, Smitty. Smitty, you're this week's
Hey,
bitch.
Smitta.
You're this
He's
week's
listening.
a bitch is a bitch. I'm glad he is,
Nice.
Smitty. You're a bitch for not responding. You're a bitch for responding the first time and then not responding afterwards. Lucas Smitty, congratulations for being this week's bitch.
I rock with you. I'm on your side.
I'm not cutting this out, by the way. I'm dead serious. I'm keeping this one in.
And I'm keep
That's-
this part
I'm
on the
glad.
record too, though.
Yeah. Also, and this isn't politically based, it's the way he acted. Steven Crowder, you're a bitch. Like, literally,
Chowder.
he was terrified of a man who looks like Flanders from fucking The Simpsons. Sam Seed looks
Sexy
so
Flanders.
nice. He does look like sexy Flanders. He's so nice. And, like, even when he came on, he was just like, hi there, Steven. Like, he wasn't anything crazy. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't cussing. He was just talking. And it looked like fucking Steven Crowder was gonna shit himself. He looked like me on the elliptical fucking minute 15. Like, he was gonna fucking die. So...
He looked like the soy boy meme, like the face.
He really did. Dude, he looked like Leon Edwards when Nate rocked him. When Nate Diaz he legit went, like, his eyes opened. He looked so scared of literally a man named Sam Cedar. He sounds like a fucking mailman.
We hate. Yeah, I mean, that was just a hilarious situation, though. Ethan
So
Klein,
good.
like, he kind of made a comeback.
He did.
He's just like, he used to be kind of like a dick. Like, he
Yeah.
would say the N word and like hang out with iDubbbz, which like I got no problem with them, but like it was
Right.
pretty bad. And then now he's just like a lovable chunk. He's kind of
Well,
chubby, which
it was
I
not-
like.
Yeah. No, it was even funny, like, in the moment it was happening, like, he just leaned back in his chair and just watched. Like, he looked like he was happy.
He's
He looked so
hilarious.
satisfied.
Yeah, I love that for him.
It was so good.
I think it'd be funnier if Steven comes on for a debate and then instead of Sam Cedar, it's just Trisha Paytas.
Well, it took me literally to watch. I watched it twice, and I remember he kept saying that Ethan was taking advantage of a mentally ill woman, or like mentally ill women, and I was like, is this some weird dig at like trans people or something like that? Like, I was so confused, and it took me a while to be like, oh, it's Trisha. He's talking about Trisha. Like, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
If anything, he's being taken advantage of by
Right.
a mentally ill woman.
I mean, he seemed nice, and he did seem hurt when she left. Like, he actually seemed like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
She's crazy. She's literally crazy, but also
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Oh, she's great. They're great.
So, yeah.
They should have kept going. Okay, well, this has been a bitch is a bitch, and we're gonna rank the 4 possible bitches. Ready, Luca? Number 1,
Bitchly? Is this
most bitchly,
or-
most bitchly, Smitty.
Sheesh.
It's obviously Smitty. Nope.
It's gotta be Chowder. It's gotta be Chowder.
Hear me out. At least Chowder responded. Smitty did. Smitty's number 1, and then it's Chowder.
Alright.
Then it's New Main, and then it's Blueface. Only because Blueface, again, he's every woman's fantasy, so he can't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Because he's every woman's
That's
fantasy.
true. Love, Death, Robots or something.
Oh,
Wasn't
My
it?
boss
It's like
recommended
Black
it.
Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's low-key Black Mirror, but like the robots have more sex about it. Like almost every episode, it looks like just video game characters having sex about it.
That's not, my boss said it was awesome. Not a boss from my old internship who said she was like, it's just a lot of fun. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Do you finish it already?
Oh my god. Nah. It's like I saw like 3 episodes on the train because I ran out of
Mhm.
data,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate. But yeah.
It is. We started watching Barry. Me and my mom. The TV show Barry with Bill Hader. I've already
That's
seen
the
it.
One where he's a serial killer.
He's a hitman. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Seems
So I've already seen it, but like I want to show it to her, and I seen it when it came out 4 years ago. So I was I forgot most of that happened. It's so good, dude. It's so dark. It's like Bill Hader is so fucking. It's like weird how he's the most serious character in the whole show.
on the podcast.
Let's get Josh Bulk. I feel like he knows he's too big for us already. Like I feel like he knows like he's way too big for us.
He did a tiny little podcast though. He actually did, but this was like a couple months ago before he murdered a fish. So he's kind of more famous lately.
Yeah. He's canceled now.
I could find him on the street pretty easily. He's always in New York, and then I could literally just like force him to do it, physically speaking. But
that's cool. Real quick, did I ever tell you about that story? So I was in films, like I was in like a film class, and we're all showing our short films that we made. Did I ever tell you about this? And one guy had like one about a fish.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna tell this for the podcast. I was in film school. This was my sophomore year, and so we had to make quick short films. You have like a week to make these things. So it's real quick at NYU, and you would just have to literally it was a crew of 4 people, other classmates, 3 other classmates. And we would all star each other's shit because you don't have enough time to find like fucking real cast, and the ideas were just stupid, whatever you could think of real quick and try to make it artsy. And we had this one dude who made it about a goldfish, and it was just like a goldfish watching his owner go through a breakup. It was fun, it was cool, and we finished it, and our professor was like, okay, cool, like comments and concerns, and we had one woman just like raise her hand and go, yeah, like it was a fun short film, but I hated and I'm very upset at the treatment of that goldfish. And I started laughing because I thought she was kidding. I started laughing my ass off. And then I realized she was serious. And we all realized she was serious. And she was like, that bowl was way too small for it. It was suffocating that entire time because that bowl was too small for it. And I'm very upset. And I can't believe you could be this just... What's the word when you're like, when you don't give a shit? Like, just like lazy, I guess. And she was pissed, and I started laughing my ass off. We all laughed at her, and she got mad and she laughed. We laughed at first, and then everyone got really serious, and everyone was like, but I kept laughing because I'm stupid, and I didn't realize she was serious after a while. And that's all I think about now when I think of fish, like cruelty. Like, he didn't, like, obviously he didn't mean it on purpose, right? Like, obviously he didn't know that he was doing that. It was obviously an accident. Like, she could have so easily been like, oh, bro, like, if you don't know, like, that's the wrong bowl for that. They need bigger bowls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, it was suffocating. Like, you just had to get a bigger bowl for it. But besides, that was a good movie. She was like, I'm upset. I am fucking offended by this on the behalf of that fish. It's like, dude, there's people, like, we live in New York, dude. Like, there's fucking people on the sidewalk when it's fucking raining, when it's fucking snowing. They don't fucking have homes. Anyway, like, genuinely though, like, it was so fucking, like, inconsiderate, and, like, don't get me wrong, I'm against animal cruelty, we all are, right? You should not be cruel to animals. No, obviously, but, like, if he didn't know any better, I hate you, bro, stop fucking, Luca's making fucking faces, every single time I talk, Luca makes fucking faces, because he's like, he has ADD, so, yeah. She was cool too, but she's also kind of like, we didn't agree on that shit. She was cool. Like, I still think she's a cool person, but like, that was a moment where I was like, yo, like, that's not how you should have handled that. That was a very immature way to handle that.
Yeah. I don't drink, but like, sometimes I see a margarita and I'm like, damn, very, very nice looking. So I might consider taking it up just for the suck flavor.
But and there's virgin like drinks like
but like
pina coladas and stuff.
Imagine ordering that, like.
We get a slushie. Slushies are really good. I love slushies.
From where though?
Like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven.
Yeah, but those are carbonated. Carbonation knows how to party.
Do you have Sonics over there on the East Coast?
Boy, what the hell, boy?
You know what a Sonic is? Okay.
I know what it is. They got like trash food though.
Wait, you know what it is though?
Yeah, do they have slushies?
Yeah, they have like I don't get food there. No one gets food there, but they have like these like they have like they're like slushies, but they're not carbonated and they're great. They're
I think McDonald's
so good.
has a pretty succulent little slush. I might take that up.
I didn't even know they had that shit. Do you have a bunch of random shit?
I was literally addicted to the McRib for a good like, however long it was out. I would literally have 2 a day. It was
you scared me, bro.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And that was before you started crack too, so that means you really loved it. That was like, You can't even blame drugs.
And that was before they brought back the McRib too. I was literally like going behind the counter and like begging the woman to put a
Yeah.
couple pork patties together, a couple nuggets, literally scraped nuggets, drenched them in barbecue sauce, put them on a bun that semi-resembled it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a restaurant you're talking about. You're talking about a daycare center with children,
Yeah,
which
I'm literally.
bold.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, and they did it still.
Right. Of course.
Very
I'm literally
brave.
in a public preschool begging a teacher to slap barbecue sauce on
Yeah.
a nugget
Yeah.
and put it on a bun for me.
And you did
And
this
I
in Lower
washed
East
it down
Side,
with
and
a
they did that
slushy.
shit. Yeah, beautiful.
Exactly right.
America. Anything could happen here. Yeah.
City of Dreams or something.
Oh, but also the Delta variant for COVID. A lot of people, I've seen that a bunch of articles are saying that there's a chance that it might get us closed down.
Overhyped. I'll take.
I
the
hope
under
so.
on that.
I hope so.
feel like
I
it's just
believe
the
so too.
media.
I think
Just
it does it sucks so much the media does that. That like the moment COVID, yeah, it's true. No, it really is true though. Like the moment COVID started being fixed, mass shootings came back. Some I know like CNN is having a daily update on mass shootings. Like, dude.
I feel like if they could literally make any narrative that they want, like there's a billion murders that go on every day, and all they have to do is highlight one or like a few that are similar and just be like huge wave of this on this crime.
Right.
And then
Right.
Like, all right,
Well,
no,
they don't
we're
even
all
do it
good.
racially or anything like that. They just go like it's just because it's just trying to get people to be afraid. It's just, Fox News does the same thing. Fox News does it with like terrorist attacks and stupid shit too.
Yeah.
It's just like
I mean, of course,
they
like,
all
there
do
are
it,
things
dude.
that are actually happening. That should be reported on. Like
Yeah, of
police
course.
brutality and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's like with the COVID stuff. I mean, I'm a big, I'm vaxxed. First day, pump me, and I agree with the lockdowns and everything. But like at this point, can we just all chill? Like, yeah, relax. Like,
They're just freaking people out.
It's like the best example is like there's literally one person with a bird flu in Asia, and it's like new bird flu, murder hornets. Like, all right, literally die. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, completely, and it's just obviously for like fucking like viewership and stuff like that. It's sad. It really is sad that they just like can't like, I don't know, dude. And I don't know how to fix this either. I'm hoping most people are tired at this point. Like my parents watch CNN and Fox News. I don't obviously. I mean, it's just so obviously meant to like fucking scare people. Like, I don't know. So yeah, just that. Oh, the UFO report came out this week. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, you stupid skeptic.
I know.
You're literally a dirty little skeptic. You're literally Neil deGrasse Tyson. You
I am.
worship him as your
I do.
shill lord when he's getting exposed on Twitter. Like, it's not even funny how exposed this guy's getting. He tweeted, like, it's so egocentric to think that an advanced space race would even care about something as meaningless as us. Like, literally eat shit and die, Neil, because is there a single somebody else tweeted this, I'm not taking credit for it. Is there a single species on Earth that we think is so insignificant that we don't even classify it? No, there's not. So, like, even if we were insignificant, like, there's no reason to think that they wouldn't care.
May I play devil's advocate? I will play devil's advocate. He's flipping me off. Thank you, Luca. Friendship. Okay. Couldn't you just argue that that's just us? That we have this want and need to do that, and that maybe other species just wouldn't care?
Yeah, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is making that assertion based on nothing. Like, he doesn't know
That's true. Yeah, no, that's
their
true.
Culture is like.
But, like, it's easier for him to say, like, but wouldn't it make more sense to say, like, we don't know their culture, we don't know if they would want to see us, over we don't know the culture, they would want to see this? Because, because your thing is, like, why wouldn't they be like us? And his thing is, like, well, we don't know if they're like us, so maybe they just wouldn't care.
But the thing, his thing is literally based on nothing. The other side of it is based on, like, here's circumstantial evidence. Like, let's try to make.
But the circumstance is just humanity, because no other species gives a shit about any other species.
No, the circumstantial evidence I'm saying is like the UFO sightings. So, like, something happened. So we're like, the inference is if these are aliens, then like they're trying to they're here for some reason. And he's like,
oh wait,
he's literally making that noise on Twitter.
No, that's fair. That's a fair statement. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Listen.
What?
At the end of the day, 144 sightings, the U.S. could only explain one of them. How is that natural?
Yeah. No, I'm really curious to see what's gonna end up being the truth. I mean, if it's aliens, that's like sick. That sounds dope. What's hilarious is a bunch of people being like, if this is aliens, we're fucked. And it's like, and then like, it's weird because there's like, no, like Marco Rubio's like, we have to do something. It's like, we're fucked. There's nothing to do. There is nothing to do. Give up.
There is.
What?
Things to do.
What are we gonna do? Make a big ass nuke?
No,
what are we gonna do?
not like, they're not trying to hurt us, but I definitely think there's ways that we could like make the communication seamless and good.
Sure, but that's what they're not saying. They're not saying communication. They're like, we have to fucking make our military better. And it's like, good luck, buddy. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe we hit
no,
dude. Or something. Who knows?
It's not gonna. We'd be so fucked. Like,
okay, but listen, if we're smarter than lions. But if we visited a planet, if there were lions on the moon, we would lose to the lions.
No, dude, you know we wouldn't. Cause dude, if me and you grabbed fucking like Glocks right now and went to the Sahara, it'd be fucking so over. It'd be insane.
Okay, fine. If we went to Jupiter and there were lions on Jupiter, we would lose because our bullets wouldn't work on Jupiter.
Okay, but we'd have flamethrower. Like we would always like, you know what I mean? Like we would have flamethrowers. We would have fucking like everything else.
Lions obviously.
You know, lions wouldn't win. We would fuck up lions.
There's not an alien army. There's only like 3, maybe like 1 or 2 aliens here.
Oh, are you saying it's just me and you? But like the thing is like.
No, it's literally 7 billion people against like 3.
No. What I'm saying is in the lions example. Like I'm going by the lion example, but like, here's the thing. Okay. Amongst many things. Well, like, okay, I'm trying to explain this. Like,
wait, real quick before. You're also discounting that we got the animals on our side. Get them ants.
I would love to shoot 1 billion spiders at them and just have them go like, what the fuck? Like, why'd you send these monsters? Oh my god, fucking, imagine if they just were big ass spiders, but they were like really dope. Like, imagine if they were super nice guys, but they were just big ass spiders.
Yeah, like that crab guy in Monsters Inc. Or is he a spider? Disgusting.
He's like a middle. Yeah, what's his name? The little. It's Water Noose? Isn't that his name?
There's no way it's Water Noose.
Let me see his name. Let me go. Monsters.
If it's Water Noose, I'm literally quitting the podcast.
It is. Oh no, it's. It is Water Noose. It's Henry J. Water Noose. It is.
Ending the call.
It's because I was gonna say his name is James Coburn. That's the voice actor. The character's name is Henry J. Water Noose.
That's crazy.
I don't know why.
Dude, those snow cones from the Yeti look literally like
so good. They look so. Even the yellow ones. They look so goddamn good.
Especially the yellow ones.
I love that. That Yeti's a beast. I love that Yeti in that movie.
So cute. Such a cute little Yet.
And he's such a nice man.
So
like,
nice.
remember in that part of the movie, Sully's really like kind of a dick, but he has hope.
He's such a dick, and like when they go through the doors, it's low-key so cozy. Like when they go to Hawaii, like I wanted to live everywhere they went. It's pretty sick. They go to Japan at one point.
They do. No, it was so nice. Oh, I love that one part too where they were like Randall's chasing after them. Oh, it ends with them trapping him in like the dirty South, and they think he's a big ass alligator, and they beat the fuck out of him. It's such a good movie, dude. That's a great movie.
For some reason I didn't.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, they're from New York. So this is we're talking about our careers and our creative careers. So my writing, filmmaking, Lucas stand-up, and we thought just to kind of open up to you guys like the type of shit we're into. I thought it'd be cool if we did our top 5 favorite. So I'm gonna do my top 5 favorite movies. He's gonna do his favorite stand-ups or specials. I'm gonna do my top 5 overrated movies that I think are just. I just think like when we say overrated, we just mean like either they're just like we're not saying they're not good. We just mean like they're overhyped.
Bad.
I mean, they could be bad. Like, some of these things I do think are bad, or they're just overhyped. And then...
Hot takes here.
Yeah, they should be hot takes. Hopefully the hot takes. Luca will be the police of if they're not hot takes or not. And then the 5th one is The fifth one. The third one is top 5 underrated. So things that we love that we feel don't get enough respect, or that maybe like, either we think they're good, but most people don't disagree, or they just don't get enough hype. So I thought it'd be cool if we just go one for one. So we'll do top 5 of our favorite shit. And do you want to go first? You go first. I want to hear. I want to hear what you say. Like genuinely, I'm curious.
So what are we starting with?
Our top 5 favorites.
First one, Jerry Seinfeld. Well, no order, by the way.
Yeah, no order
Jerry
for mine either.
Seinfeld, I'm telling you for the last time, because that is the first stand-up special that got me into it, and I think it's honestly kind of the perfect special. Like every joke is like perfectly structured, classic Seinfeld. Like couldn't love it anymore. Aziz Ansari.
Wait. We're gonna go. I thought it'd be cool if we went one by one. We talked about it a little bit, but like we kind of did like so. You go, I go, but like we talk. I wanted to talk about the Jerry Seinfeld thing, because I've seen Seinfeld the show, and I would see his stand-up coming at the end of that. How different was it from the show? Like, was it
very? Because
okay.
The show he does like little one-off, like minute-long jokes. This is like an hour-long set. Like the jokes are drawn out and like. Yeah, it's honestly perfect. Like, the man has just so much control over the material. And it was the last time he ever did it. That was the whole point of the special, until he brought it back now for his pick up a Netflix bag. But pretty awesome, to be honest.
But like, isn't it just like, what's the deal with airplane food? Isn't it just that?
Yes,
Okay, what is it? What is it?
But no.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he obviously has those jokes, but. It's just clever shit. Like, if you gotta watch it. Like,
okay. It's called. What's it called?
I'm telling you for the last time. It's all on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I used to like. This is like 12-year-old me. I would like every night. I would like memorize the jokes. Like do it in front of the mirror, and then like do them at school and pretend they were my thoughts. like
that's perfect.
This kid's funny as
hell. Dude, I knew a bunch of people at my high school that would do that shit. I remember there was a dude who would repeat Jimmy Carr jokes, Louis C.K. jokes, and a Chris Pratt joke from Conan O'Brien. But he would swear they were his. And I was like, oh, like, this is some funny shit. It's too, like, but I remember thinking, like, it's so weird that he's kind of stupid and very, like, not fun. But I was like, wow, but he's funny, though. I was like, wow, like, congratulations. And then one day I listened to, like, Louis C.K. and I was like, that son of a bitch. You got me. So that's great though. That's really nice because you've either seen or did you ever meet him at Seinfeld?
Like it depends on how you say meet. Like I did a show where he was like came on like 3 comedians after me, and then he had his like fucking bodyguards, and then he left. So I couldn't.
That
touch
counts.
Him,
I would take it. You smelled his aroma. You were in the same presence.
I sniffed his seed after.
Oh yeah. Charlemagne the God style. You just fucking went all in with it. That's beautiful. That's nice. Yeah. He heard that. He cares. Yeah, he takes note.
Oh yeah, he's listening.
Yeah. Oh, he's the only listener. Our only listeners, Jerry Seinfeld.
He's actually in the room right now.
What's the deal with bed tables? It's not a bed. It's not a table.
Oh, I actually follow his son on Instagram. His son only has like 2,000 followers. He goes to Duke, and like that's a great experience. That's how I'm gonna get to Seinfeld. I'm gonna start like ransoming his son or something.
You should. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Is his son cool, or is he? I didn't even know he had a son.
He seems chill. Like he goes to Dalton, he went to like the rival for Dalton, which is where the kid I babysit goes. So.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
So like that's how the connection started. So. I'll definitely kidnap this kid is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. You smell the dad's seat, you kidnap the kid. That's like, it's beautiful. Okay, so my one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Uncut Gems. I know it's recent, but I've watched it multiple times already, and like I genuinely like I love it. I know I've heard people like who just dislike it, but like. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. Like I think it's kind of either you just like to me. I think it's perfect. I can't think of a scene I would change. I can't think of a character I would change or dial. I love all of it, but then like. Do
you feel like it gave you? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like it gave you like? Did it make you like sports betting more or less?
Oh, it's a fun fact. A couple of our friends and stuff, like bet on sports. Um, it's a weird thing of like, because maybe it's because I knew a lot about sports betting like beforehand, but like I guess it was I was neutral about it leaving it too, but it gave me I knew what it felt like because I've seen how they would react, win or lose. So I was like, well, I know what you know what I mean. Like I get it. I get what this guy's going through, and I've heard it been described where it's like it's like this rush because like. Like I go on roller coasters, right? I watch horror movies, so I know that same feeling. Like you want, like I love UFC. When you're watching those fights, like what makes all those things fun is like your heart's racing. You're just like fuck, and like you want the guy to win. So I get it. I hated that. That was so good too. That's the
I
worst part.
love
That's
that
such a
guy.
good. um, but everything about it, I love the fucking visuals. I love the soundtrack so good. The fucking score is so fucking good. I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan, but holy shit, is he so good in that movie? He is so and he's perfect. And like, I don't want to spoil it, but like, just the journey. Like, I don't. It's funny because I don't think it follows like the usual plot. Like the like with your time in film school, but it's fucking better. It's just so much fun. And that girl, his
That's
girlfriend's
a
so
fire one.
hot. Yeah.
She
Anyways, go
is.
ahead. Yeah.
That's a fire one. This one I guess could have been on underrated to be honest, but like
Okay.
Buried Alive by Aziz Ansari. The ones that came after I didn't really like, but that one as a kid I was like, this is really funny, and like yeah, I was just very into it at the time. So
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, but like I thought there were some like classic A1 jokes in that. So
Is that the one where he does the Kanye West one?
no, but like
Fuck.
I think it's better. Like
Okay.
I don't fully like remember it too well, but I just remember
Mhm.
like as a kid like watching it at least like 3-4 times and like really liking it.
Yeah. That's. I feel like a lot of like. 'Cause I used to watch a bunch of stand up too, like when I was younger, and like it's funny like when I look back now, I'm like this isn't as good as I remember it being, but like it still had like an influence on me. Like he has one of my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah. I was well, he has like a great joke that I thought was funny because something I thought about too was like he has this joke where he talks about how it's weird how we say like dick and balls are like good, like they're strong, and like a vagina is
Oh
weak.
yeah.
Yeah, and like if you think
I
about it,
think
like that's go ahead.
that's on the new. That's like on the one right after Buried Alive, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like yeah,
That's a good one.
because it's true. Like if you punch a guy, dude, if you flick me in the junk, I'm gonna be out for like fucking 10 minutes at least. You could fucking punch him in the crotch, and like it's gonna hurt her, but she's gonna be fine. Like she'll be able to still fight you. Like it's a weird thought that like we're so inherently kind of like I mean, it's just true. Like it's sexist, right? Like why would we like vaginas literally push kids out of them? Like sometimes like I'm pissing in her. Like if the stream's too hard, I'm like, oh shit, that's a tough stream. It's so I thought yeah, he's good. I would like he's on sorry too.
What's yours?
Moonlight. I love
Shit.
Moonlight. I
Shit
know.
movie.
I know.
Awful.
Oh, I know like people think it's boring. I love Moonlight. Um, I
Trying
don't
to
really
think.
cry easy. You don't have to. I know like a lot of roommates that we've had like they fucking hate it, and I get it. Like
I mean, the end is kind of like alright, like overhyped, but the movie is cool.
I think it's perfect. I think the ending's perfect. I'll explain
Of
why.
course you do.
So I'll spoil Moonlight. I'll spoil it. I'll spoil Moonlight. The whole point of the movie is by identity. So it begins the moment Chiron has questions about who he is, right? No, you're good. He has questions about who he is. Like he's unsure of himself. He's unsure of his sexuality, his masculinity. Why are you laughing?
His name
You're
is
such a son of a
Chiron.
bitch. His name is Chiron. You're a bitch. um, he's confused about masculinity, sexuality. He's struggling to go in the world, and he doesn't know where to go with who he is. And the it has three parts to it. It's Chiron. I forgot the middle one, but then it's black at the end of it. But even like his name changes. You know what I mean? Like every part of his identity is just fluctuating, and he's trying to find himself in this like it's a shit circumstance, right? Like his friend, like he kind of has feelings for his friend, but it's still his friend. And does he be tough? Could he just be nice? Like he has all these things fluctuating. And the reason it ends right there, like where it does at the end of the movie, he's with the man he loves. He is secure in his sexuality. He's secure in his masculinity. He's secure in his identity with his mom and with the past. And it ends right there because it's him finally just accepting, like, this is who I am. This is what makes me happy. And it's the moment he accepts himself as who he is, and then it cuts. So I think it's a beautiful ending.
It's got some beauty to it, to be sure. But I like an ending where Adam Sandler dies.
I told you not to spoil fucking Uncut Gems, you son of a bitch. I tried not to spoil the ending of that movie.
We can edit
I'll-
that.
I'll-
You know,
I'll
could have
spoil,
not
yeah.
said it. You could have not said it was Uncut Gems. They would have thought it was like Billy Elliot. Or something.
Billy Madison, yeah, Billy Madison, yeah, Happy Gilmore. I'll put a spoiler alert. I'll edit a spoiler in there.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Alright, go ahead, man. What's your next one?
Oh, shit. My next one is another odd one. Yeah, it's another pretty odd one. Mike Birbiglia, My Girlfriend, the Boyfriend. Just because it's... Have you seen that?
No.
You know who he is?
No, I don't know who he is.
He's like a little storyteller fatso, and like, it was cool because it was very weird. Like, it's so storytelling, but like it was still funny. So like, I thought it was pretty cool how it could be so captivating with like not that many punchlines. But yeah, it was, and like, it's rare that a stand-up special leaves you like sad and like, oh, that was... It's kind of like the Bo Burnham stuff where like it's funny, and then at the end you're like, oh damn, like that was kind of an experience, like that meant something a little bit. So like that had that kind of feeling, which I thought was cool. It's the only one on the list that has that. That's why I added it.
That's dope. No, that's well. I heard. I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, I've had a couple comedians like that where you watch it and then later on you kind of like it kind of leaves you with like thoughts. You should like think about it. I never seen. Have you seen Nanette?
No, everyone like my mom tells me to watch it, but like, nah.
I heard it was just so sad. Like, oh, and I've seen clips of it, and it's just like devastating. Like, it's not even funny. It's just like this is devastating to watch, and it's interesting that. Well, because do you know who Henry Rollins is?
No.
So I'm a big fan of Henry Rollins. He's the lead singer of a band called Black Flag, and he does spoken word. And I thought it was kind of interesting how like Nanette kind of toes the line of like spoken word and like stand up. You know, like what makes it stand up, what makes it spoken word, I guess. You know, because Henry Rollins is funny, but it's spoken word. Like it's not. I would never consider him a stand up comedy or comic. You know. So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
What's yours?
Okay, so this is a dumb one, but I love it. Like I love this movie, and you know it. 22 Jump Street. I could watch it over and over again. It never gets old. I still fucking laugh as hard. I think it's perfect. And the way they fucking squeeze in so many jokes in fucking just a short amount of time. I love 22 Jump Street.
I respect that. You gotta have a movie that's just like fun. Like those types of movies, like that you could actually watch 1,000 times. You could show your friends and it's funny. Like you gotta love it.
Dude, you could put it on for parties. You could put it on by yourself. You could do it for like any fucking time. Just put on 22 Jump Street. Have a fucking great time, dude.
Sometimes it's like people get or like film people are like, oh, but it's stupid. Like you just allow yourself to enjoy things. It's funny.
Dude, I was shocked by how many times people made fun of me for liking like Marvel movies and like I love Jump Street movies. I remember freshman year I got in a debate. They asked us what's the funniest movie of the decade, and I said 21 Jump Street. And some dude said the Grand Budapest Hotel. And I was like, are you serious? You think that shit's funny? Like, you laugh. I like that movie a lot. It's a cute movie. But at no point, there was a point I was just like, oh. Like, 21 Jump Street, when they're fucking, it rhymes with grape. Like, that shit is, oh my fucking god, dude. Or like in 22 Jump Street, when he finds out he was like with his daughter, and Channing Tatum's fucking dancing around saying, Schmidt, fuck the captain's daughter. Like, it's a fucking amazing movie.
Hangover low-key should probably be on the list too, of like just influential, like great comedies. Yeah, fire.
Yeah, the first. Oh, I love Tropic Thunder. You know, I showed it to you more recently. That's
Yeah,
a
that was good.
fucking great movie.
That was
Like, they're
funny.
so underrated. All right, what about you? What's the next one?
Let me pull it up. So the next one is Bill Burr. I'm sorry you feel that way. The black and white
Mhm.
one, because it's got some pretty classic ones. Like, you gotta have the classic helicopter joke. I think that might be like genuinely might be one of the best jokes of all time. So
Yeah. I
like
watched
just
the
the way
whole.
he does it, like the
Yeah.
way he does like the mic work, like
I
with
was
the
gonna say
noises,
it.
like it's
Yes.
literally crazy. Like
I watched a whole video on how he uses the mic for
yeah,
that joke specifically, and how he fucking moves it away when he's falling, and like, it's
now
so good. Yeah.
yeah, and like
But.
these days, Bill Burr, like I don't love that much anymore because I
Mhm.
feel like he's too ignorant. Like,
That's
but
fair.
like yeah, that special is like pretty goaded.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about it too. Bill Burr is one of my favorite comics. I'm aware that sometimes, yeah, I mean, sometimes I think what gets annoying, because you could be ignorant. We're all ignorant on things, right? It's his confidence and that he's right. It's both things. Because if he was like, I'm ignorant, but like here's my opinion. But he's like, how could you disagree? And it's like let's be you know what I mean, like we're all human. You're not a professor in this shit. You're not a fucking genius in this field. Like this is just your opinion, you know. That kind of stuff kind of gets my nerves sometimes, where he's like, this is just common like I remember he had a whole thing on guns, and I'm not like, I don't have any strong super opinion on guns, but it was obvious he had no idea what the fuck he was talking about with guns, you know.
That's true. Yeah, I remember that.
But I love Bill Burr though, and like he still is my favorite like he is fucking, like he's just so good at just making regular shit funny.
Yeah, it really
Like
is.
there was a compilation of him like shitting on people, and at one point like he's shitting on a stool, like it's not even a human, it's just a stool, and he's
Oh
like, fuck
yeah,
that stool.
I've seen
It's
that.
so good. And like it's actually funny, like he's funnier with a stool than most comics are like in a group together trying to riff, you know, like
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah,
respect to him also for just talking on his podcast for like an hour and like having people listen to that.
because he's big now, he doesn't even need this shit anymore, he just does it, he does it for the fans. It's respect.
How wait, real quick, how like
Yeah.
disgustingly overpowered is Patreon? Like Tim
Hmm.
Dillon, like 20,000 people is not that much. And if 20,000 people pay you $5 a month, you literally make 100K a month, and that's what
Yeah.
Tim Dillon makes. Like, that's disgusting amounts of money. That's the same
Yeah.
with OnlyFans. Like, Jesus Christ.
Once
What
we
I'm
get,
saying is,
yeah,
yeah,
with our 2 viewers, we need to give them Patreon. If you want to see the, you know, what'd be hilarious. 2 episodes in, where you're gonna be like, to see the rest of this content, Patreon.
yeah.
It's $100 a month, folks.
If you
Those
pay
two guys.
$100 a month, me and Jacob are shirtless for the podcast.
Okay, so for my third one, this isn't kind of played out, but I'm a huge superhero nerd, so I had to put this. I don't give a fuck what other people say. No, I'm a huge superhero nerd. They have like, The Dark Knight. I fucking love
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
That one's
It's
acceptable.
it's
It's
so
too
fucking
good.
good. It's so good. And I know people always go to the Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's not my favorite part of that movie. My favorite part of that movie is Christian Bale. He is insanely good in that movie. And I've talked about this a couple times before.
Well, Heath
He's
Ledger is also insane, though.
Oh, of course. But like when I watch it, like Heath Ledger's playing one character, Christian Bale's playing three. He's Batman, he's Bruce Wayne in public, and then he's Bruce Wayne by himself. And as Batman, he has to be, he's supposed to be like scary, right? He's supposed to try to terrorize these people. He's supposed to be like this brooding force. As Bruce Wayne in public, he's supposed to be a drunk idiot. He's pretty much supposed to be Newman. Like he's supposed to be that guy, and he does a great job. He's a drunk. He's a dick. Like he's just an asshole in public, and then in private, what's cool is like you see him scared, and you see him nervous, and he's unsure of himself, and he doesn't know if he could succeed. And I thought all that was just so unique, and that he's not super like you see him not be powerful or he's human. He's so human when he's Bruce Wayne, and then you see him try to pretend to be Batman. Like I was telling my sister about this a couple days ago because I seen a clip of it when I was going through some channels, and like that interrogation scene where he's interrogating the Joker, right? you see him go through like the stages of who he really is, and like because he begins it with like the lights turn on and he's behind him and he's supposed to scare him and he punches him right like in the hand, and the Joker's like okay cool, so then he tries to interrogate him. He has the voice and everything like that, and the Joker reveals to him like I kidnapped them. I kidnapped Rachel and I kidnapped Harvey, and then you see like the look in his face go like oh shit. He grabs a chair and then blocks the fucking door so no one could get in and no one could get out, right? And then he just starts beating the shit out of the Joker, and the Joker starts like laughing at him because he's like, "You have all this muscle, you have all these gadgets, you have all this shit, and you have nothing to do with all of it. What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna tell you where they are." And he's just laughing at him, and you could just see the fucking like he just looks so angry and he looks so fucking defeated. Like there's nothing he could do to this guy. He has, you know what I mean? Like he's fucked. And it's just so good. And I was telling her like it's a crazy thought, but like when most bad guys meet Batman, they get him. It's just Batman. And in that scene, Joker brought out Bruce Wayne. He brought out like who he really was, who was like a scared dude, who was scared that his like loved ones were gonna die and that he wasn't gonna succeed. You know? Fuck, that's a good movie.
It's like literally entertaining start to finish. The little, even
So
like the
good.
first scene is goated with the freaking clown mask.
Yeah.
I'm the real jokester. No, I'm the real jokester.
And they just no, it's so fucking good. Oh my god, and the boats, like every single scene. I think the only part of it that I've always hated was Harvey. I think I'm a huge comic book nerd too, so I've actually read the comic book it's based off of, The Long Halloween, and Harvey Dent is so much more interesting in that comic book, and they kind of fucked it in the movie. So that
And I
kind of
love
sucks.
the Bane part. The Bane part is really good.
Fuck you.
The Scarecrow part is even better.
Scarecrow actually is in that movie.
Oh yeah, at the end, isn't he the best here?
Beginning.
Wait, what? He's like on trial or something? He's like in a court? He's kind of sexy
That's
about
that's
it?
The Dark Knight Rises.
Damn it. I'm actually getting them mixed up now.
No, you're good. Okay, go ahead. Your last one. Your last good.
Last one is Louis C.K. Shameless, because I feel like before he started like jerking off into cups or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
he was literally regarded as probably like the GOAT, maybe like the next after Carlin Pryor, like pretty master.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of have to include it, like at his prime, like Vans was really on top of it, just good
Yeah.
specials.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest.
I know you're not a huge fan, but
I'm not. It's not because of the Me Too part. I mean, obviously that doesn't help.
he's just like like mechanically, like in terms of just like skill, like it's like very high. It's like Chappelle level of like just very like good. I don't know, like it's just good.
I think the way he's able to tell jokes is good. Oh, I remember. One I really loved was the one he did for SNL about child pedophiles,
Oh yeah, I remember
and that was great. And I remember thinking like that is such a funny take on that, and it's kind of an interesting thought of like like these people have something wrong with them. With that being said, well, I mean it was obviously very upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know if people know this, he's Mexican, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like most people don't know he's Mexican, so I was like, oh, like I'm not a big fan of his, but that's cool. That, like like I know there's George Lopez. I'm not a big fan of George Lopez. I think he goes into hack humor way too often. I hate that kind of shit. I don't like when it's just like I'm Latino and this is what it's like to be a Latino, and it's like I don't like that. Because no, it shouldn't be that. Like that's an aspect of who you are, but you know what I mean. Carlin and Pryor, they happen to know they're Irish, black. That's not their shtick. Their stuff was
takes on those after.
okay, but like they it's more than just that, and Louis C.K. was like born and raised in Mexico, and it's I don't know, it was pretty upsetting when everything came out that he did. I still think that like I realize people say it's not as bad as like Bill Cosby, but it's like it's still a bully mentality, so tough.
Yeah, it also like kind of fits what he looks like. I feel like
Yeah.
nobody was surprised. Go on.
It also, my fifth is Get Out. I love Get Out. I love Get Out. I love Get Out. It's just
You're literally sexually obsessed with that movie.
I love it. I think it's the perfect movie. It has everything. It has comedy, horror. It has drama. It has comedy. What are you doing? Dude, The Friend is hilarious. The fucking
Didn't you?
The Friend?
Didn't you say that for the last 5? How many perfect movies could there be, buddy?
Oh, well, I said they're perfect to me. I mean, they're all perfect to me. Well, no, The Dark Knight's definitely not perfect. The Dark Knight has the problem with Harvey. There's a lot of like logical problems with The Dark Knight. 22 Jump Street, I do think is perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it. Uncut Gems. Moonlight could be a little bit faster. Moonlight could be a little bit faster. That's not the same movie. I hate you. But Get Out. I mean, it has everything. Like, unlike the rest of movies were, 22 Jump Street's a comedy. The Dark Knight's a crime drama. Uncut Gems, like a personal drama. It's like a character piece. And Moonlight, kind of the same thing. Get Out, it's a social commentary. It's kind of a satire. It has comedy. It has horror. It has drama. It's so much fucking fun. It's funny. The characters are likable. The villains are
great ending.
The ending is awesome, and it's so satisfying.
Hot girl.
I'm not. I think she's a pretty woman. Maybe not as much as you like her, but she's a pretty woman. The cast does a great job. Fuck, I forgot the main guy's name. Keith Stanfield does a great job. Everyone just crushed it. Everyone did such a great job. So I love Get Out. It's so much fucking fun. Same thing with 22 Jump Street too. Parties, anything. You just put you could put Get Out on and just fucking chill.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but in general, I agree.
Okay.
So underrated or overrated first?
Let's go overrated first. I'm curious who your overrated are.
Overrated. Okay. I got some hot takes in this one.
Okay.
Let's start with John Mulaney, new in town. Listen, well, maybe this isn't that hot of a take, because like he's definitely polarizing.
No, sir, it's a hot take. Trust me.
Like, I think he's funny, like,
yeah.
I think he's skilled, but like, oh my god, people suck the man, like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. And people copy him so much, it's like,
yep.
Alright, like, we get it. You have a funny voice and you're kind of lanky looking.
Mm-hmm.
But like, a lot of respect to him, like, he's very funny, but it's like,
yeah.
It's alright.
I think he would agree with you, too. I don't think he would be offended. I think he would completely agree with you. Because
you're right. It's less about him. It's less about him and more about like how much people.
Everyone else, dude, it's so fucking annoying. I went to film school and we had people who would fucking do like constant Mulaney stuff, and it's like, you're quirky, cool, like fucking awesome, like holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, the Back to the Future joke's funny, but like it's not like breaking shit. It's like, oh, that's like a funny thing, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, holy fuck. John Mulaney, like, you seem like a great guy, but you've ruined fucking... Oh my god. You know what? Real quick, this is a tip for the fellas out there. If you ever want to date, like, a fucking film school person, like a woman, or dude, or just it goes for anybody who wants quirky, creative types. This goes for fucking anybody. I'm dead serious. Holy shit, dude. Just say your two favorite comics are Bo Burnham and John Mulaney. Just lie. I don't care who the fuck your favorite comics are. Lie. Now it's John Mulaney and Bo Burnham, because anything else they'll be like, oh my god. Like I love Bill Burr. I remember one time I had a fucking person I was with where we were just talking, and she was like, oh, who's your favorite comic? And I was like, oh fuck. And the only name I could think of was Bill Burr, and I was like, she's gonna fucking look up Bill Burr and hate me. Like, this is a fucking nightmare. So just lie. Okay.
I agree with that.
My first movie I think is super overrated is The Shining. I don't get it. It's not that good. It's not that scary. It's fine. It's not good. It's not scary.
It's not good, or is it fine?
Okay, as a horror movie, it is not good. As a movie, it is fine. Does that make sense? It's not scary.
So you want it to be more scared?
Well, just be a horror movie. It's like, it really is like the fucking artistic man's horror movie. It's like, it's not scary. I wasn't fucking tense. Like, Hereditary is artistic and scary. It's tense. You feel dread in your stomach. You're like, fuck, dude. At no point in The Shining did I feel any fucking sense of dread. It looked pretty in some shots. I do like that scene at the bar. I like the elevator shots. But the twins were just so fucking stupid. That scene with the fucking bear giving that guy a blowjob was stupid. Like, there's just so much shit where it's like, this is fucking dumb. And like, it's overrated. It's not good. It's not scary. Fuck that movie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like, I definitely agree with the whole Hereditary being scary as shit. So,
Yeah, that's a good
but
fucking movie, dude.
my next one is George Carlin. Cause listen, sweetheart, you're pretty funny and all, but you're a bit overhyped. I
Yeah.
mean, number one or number two all time, like, I get it, but like, if you actually, I don't know. Every time I try to watch, it's like, all right, that was kind of funny, I guess, but it's more like clap, clap, clap. Thank you, Carlin. Very cool point there. Like less like funny, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I think he's the type of comedian who's like great on YouTube clips that are like 5 or 8 minutes long, but then you watch the hour and it's like, all right, like, thank you, politics. Have a nice day.
He really rides the line of like just almost being spoken word. You know what I mean? Like he's not like
Right.
like Pryor was funny. Like whether you like he is like a funny person. Like I think comparatively, because and I love Carlin, but like a lot of it's just like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought I never had before. You know, like it wasn't like
Yeah.
it's not like I don't know. Like even like the 7 words you can't say on television. Like I know that was groundbreaking, but it's like cool. I could say cunt too. Where's my fucking Oscar, bitch? Like you know what I mean? It's not like interesting. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Especially like in like I'm sure in the moment they're like, oh my god, that's so revolutionary. He's talking about atheism. But then today it's just like cool. Let
Yeah,
a
it's like
fucking
okay, it's like the move. It's like the comedian version of like Citizen Kane. Like I get it, like you're good, but like it's not. I don't want to watch this. It's not that funny or cool.
yeah. No, I completely understand. Like it's I completely
Like it's a
understand.
classic, but all right, yeah, we get it. We get it.
Yeah. My next movie, Donnie Darko. Think it's shit. Have you ever seen Donnie Darko? No. If you're a film person, you've probably heard of this movie, and if you like it, that's fine. It's not good. I get it. I get the whole. I understand the whole plot of the movie. I understand it's about like choices and fucking like just determinism. I understand it. It's not good, people. It's shit. And it's just like so like moody. It's like an angsty fucking teen movie that you watch like fucking when you're going through like a weird time of the month. It's not fucking good, mate. It's fucking bad. And Seth Rogen's in it, and it's weird. Like Seth Rogen plays a bully. I think at one point he tells the girl, "I like your boobs." It's just awful. It's fucking bad. It's a bad fucking movie. And again, it's not that like you know what, people always do that shit too. No, you just didn't get it. You just didn't get it. I got it. It's still bad. Okay, go ahead. That was my rant on Donnie Darko.
Um. Okay, so my next one is another like Donald Glover one, the one with the one only one he did like
Weirdo. Yep.
yeah, weirdo. Like, yeah, pretty funny. Has its moments, but like, it's good because it's like, oh, he's Donald. Like, he can do it all. You know, like he can
Right.
do. So it's like master, jack of all trades kind of thing. But he
Hmm.
is a master of some. He's definitely a master of some. I just wouldn't
What
say
is he
he's
a
a
master
master
of? I'm a big fan of him, and he's not. I don't think he's a master of anything.
I feel like he's pretty good at like TV stuff
But
in
he's like,
general.
okay, so we're gonna go over this now. I'm a really big Donald Glover fan, and it's super impressive. Like I'm never gonna take that away from him. He's super impressive. His stand up comedy is not funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's like hear me out. If we had to just wait on one portion of his career, it wouldn't have worked. Like, if he was just a stand up comic, he wouldn't have been a good one. If he was just like a musical artist, I don't think he would have been a good one. Like, if I'm being honest, and I like Redbone. I like some of his songs a lot, but after like it kind of runs dry. Like a lot of them are super repetitive, and then like I would agree. Like his acting, he's a good actor. Like
Right.
I think he's a good actor. I think his acting is the
His
strongest point.
show's good too, isn't
Well, I watch Atlanta. I like Atlanta. I think it's really overhyped, and I like it too. But like,
it? Okay.
do you know anything? Do you know who David Lynch is?
Yeah, I think
It's
I've heard
just
of him.
if David Lynch was funny, it's like cool. Like David Lynch did it first. I'm sorry, like, and I like Atlanta, but like, I don't know. I think it's really overrated. Like, and it kind of hurts me to say that. What's funny is like you know how much I don't like Dave Lil Dicky show. Like
Oh, you actually dislike it?
I think yeah
It's really popular right now.
it is. I would have liked to see a show that again, we both like rap a lot. I would have loved to see a show that talked about rap from a maybe more of someone who does rap kind of standpoint.
What do you
So
mean?
well, like Lil Dicky's like alternative rap. You know what I mean? Like it would be like if Bo Burnham did one stand up comedy. Well, like when he was younger. Not now he does do stand up comedy, but like when he was younger, it was more based in like YouTube and shit like that. So yeah.
Yeah, but the show is like the character is just a rapper,
Are we talking about Atlanta or Dave?
Dave.
Yeah, I get that, but like, okay, like so, like I think we had this conversation before. I think like you're a big J Cole fan, right? I like we both like J Cole. Kendrick's really good right now. I mean, there are a lot of even not those guys who are like amazing.
Kendrick
There's still
is
other
really
rappers
good.
who are
I
good.
disagree with that.
But fine, I agree. I like Kendrick still. But there's a lot of rappers who have a lot to say and have a really great viewpoint. And they're able to use rap to do that. And I realize Lil Dicky's a comedic rapper, and his point is to be a comedic rapper, and he's a great comedic rapper. I do think he is very funny. But it's obviously alternative rap, right? It's not traditional rap. It's from the viewpoint of someone with a different viewpoint, which I thought was really interesting, right? He's not a usual guy. He went to Richmond, and it's an alternative.
Not the show though.
Well, on the show, he's very similar to himself.
Wait, but okay, looky.
Mm-hmm.
I get that the rap itself is alternative, but the come up, like the path, is exactly identical to a regular rapper, wouldn't you say?
But the perspective is not from one. Like, okay, so this
Because like the come
I
up
think
was
it,
he put
but
out a song that got very popular,
mm-hmm.
and then he
Wait,
like,
him, yeah.
dropped a mixtape where he like made a video every week. Yeah, like the come up is he puts out a video. It goes like it gets very popular. Then he goes on to do like a year of a mixtape where every Wednesday he puts out like a new song and video. And then once that gets traction, like he goes on tour in small venues. I feel like that's a very average rapper come up.
Yeah. I guess my problem with it is, and I realize this is different, and this isn't his fault. He's very. I think he's a talented guy, and I'm sure he's a nice guy. I have no problem with Lil Dicky. But I know this is kind of a weird aspect to look at it from, but yesterday there was the BET Awards, right? And I noticed there was a whole thing about Jack Harlow being there, right? And I like Jack Harlow, yeah, but it's the BET Awards, right? He went there, which I think was fine. He was also nominated for a couple different awards, and a lot of people were like, "Well, that's kind of weird because obviously it's the BET Awards. It's not the rap, right? It's not hip hop or rap. It's meant for African Americans. So why is he nominated?" And I also noticed that like when it was being covered, like the award show, it's Black Entertainment Television.
No, yeah, but like BET Awards in specific, this isn't the first white man that's ever been nominated for a BET Award.
Let me Google that. I think he is. Like completely, because I think there's people who have been like featured. I'm Googling real quick.
Like, isn't the like
Apparently Sam Smith was nominated and won.
he won, but there's been other nominees.
Oh, but to be fair, he didn't accept it. He said because he's white and didn't think he'd win. That's nice. Well, I guess what I was gonna say was, I obviously I'm against segregation, but like I do get the point of having like okay. Besides him being nominated in that, I noticed that when they were doing coverage for the BET Awards, for everyone had like for Complex, the magazine, on their Instagram, it showed like one picture of Saweetie, it had one picture of Megan Thee Stallion, it had one picture, of everybody, but it had like a whole slideshow of Jack Harlow, and I was like, this is Jack Harlow at the BET Awards, and I was like, why? He's not the biggest name there. Megan Thee Stallion is way bigger than he is. Why the fuck is there a full thing for just Jack Harlow? And like,
I think Jack Harlow might be bigger right now, but go on.
no, that's crazy. That's insane, dude. No, he's not.
Right now?
I don't think it's even close. You think he's bigger than Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Saweetie, City Girls? You think he's bigger than all those people? He has one
Maybe not.
song.
Well, no. Right now, I generally think Jack Harlow, like moment, like the last
Let me
3
see.
months, I think Jack Harlow like has crazy momentum.
Like,
Like,
am I tripping? Does he not have one song?
no, he just dropped. The thing is, he just dropped an album, and like, that's huge momentum. And then if you go on YouTube, the man is doing like every show, every interview, like, he's like being pushed like hell.
So
Like Megan hasn't dropped in a
right
while.
now, I'm looking at the billboards. Lil Nas X was there. Lil Nas X got one picture. Megan Thee Stallion is 16. Saweetie's 20. Migos 23. Drake 24. Migos again. Like I don't see him. Roddy Ricch. I didn't. Why is Roddy Ricch there? Oh, okay. He has a new
What do you
song.
mean? I'm just saying, as a celebrity, like,
I don't think so. Well, I think it comes down like it's kind of like the Eminem thing. And again, Eminem would agree with this. Eminem's actually talked about this and done songs about it. Like, I do think because America is mostly Caucasian people, which it just that it is. Right? America's mostly Caucasian people. I think
yeah,
maybe there's a lot more empathy when it's your own ethnicity. So you have a weird
that
culture
definitely
empathy.
is a
So
big part of it.
yeah, I think you just naturally have more empathy with. So then you cling on to someone who you have similarities with, and that's why that happens. I think Jack Harlow again, very talented. I like that one song of his. I think and I'm sure he seems very talented. Like I do think he's gonna do really well. And I know this isn't like some weird hit on Jack Harlow. I'm just saying he had a whole slideshow at the BET Awards on the only non-black artist, and not even non-black. He was the only white guy, and like what am I trying to and like I guess what I'm saying is we talk about cultural appropriation, and I think if I'm being honest with most people, I think what makes America great is that we're able to have culture and share it with each other and blend and mix things. I think all that's great. I do think the only time it kind of gets fucked up is when I like it's kind of true, like we kind of not erase, but you're almost able to overlook certain groups. Like Ben Shapiro is such a little bitch about like Megan Thee Stallion's songs. Like Lil Dicky is disgusting with all his music. Never critiques a Lil Dicky song. I know it's meant to be comedic, but like obviously Megan Thee Stallion's music's obviously exaggerated. It's like it's art. It's supposed to be exaggerated, right? He doesn't give a
You
shit
don't
about
think
that.
he would? Like, Lil Dicky
No.
is not that mainstream. You think he would?
No, I don't think he would. Like, cause there's other artists. Like I think we had this conversation before of like Kiss
Like, he
has like
critiques
Love
Eminem.
Gun. Does he? What song?
Like, I've never seen it, but I'm sure you don't think he would?
No.
I don't know. Eminem's pretty liberal.
I know that it's not about politics, dude. I think
Yeah,
it's like
I
this
know
weird
that, but
thing
I'm
of
just
like
saying, in general, I think he would not like Eminem.
I don't. Oh, I'm sure he doesn't, but like he made 2 videos now dedicated solely to Megan Thee Stallion songs and Cardi B. They did a whole thing with Shakira and J
Wait,
Lo.
I don't even get what are we like? What is this about?
The conversation I'm trying to say
The
is
Lil
that
Dicky thing, like, yeah. What does this have to do with the Lil Dicky show?
this isn't me trying to like. I guess what I'm saying is the way that we. I do think that subconsciously, as viewers, we. I'm trying to say this. Like, obviously, his journey as a rapper was similar to most rappers, right? But it does kind of. It's a little annoying that he's the one. Like, dorky like the two, like even like Donald Glover, I guess, but like I'm not trying to say this. Like rap is obviously an African American dominated genre, and it was started by African Americans, and it was this thing that they turn into this, like it's such a cool thing of being able to talk about important issues using rap. Like I was listening to old Tupac songs, and like he talked about like abortion and sexism and like the way that like people like men mistreat women, like all this shit in like one song, and it was so amazing. And like there's so many like even like NWA would have songs about like really about police brutality. I think I've told you about this before. Dope Man, the song Dope Man is a great fucking song, and is a critique of being a dope dealer. It's a critique of that life, and all those songs are great. Like they're just like, you know what I mean, like it's a way of a culture being able to express themselves. I think of like, so in Mexican American culture we have rancheros. I'm sorry, Mexicans, don't get mad at me, but we have those, and they're like our like country music, and we're able to like talk about our sorrows, and we have we have our different genres too, and they're these cultural things, and obviously anyone could adopt them, and we have no problem with people adopting them, right? Like I think Drake Bell, for some reason, before he became a monster, tried to do that too, and we were excited. We thought it was cool. Like I don't think anyone has a problem with that part. What gets annoying is if they made a show about rancheros and they picked Drake Bell to tell that story, I'd be like, that's a little weird. Why not go with an actual band that does it? Or like, why not go with someone who's more traditionally stands for that group? Why did you pick the one alternative guy? You know?
Yeah, but that's like not how those things work though. Like Lil Dicky wrote a pilot and then pitched it and they picked it up. Like you're saying that there were famous black rappers who were pitching pilots of a sitcom about rap that they were rejecting at the same time they were accepting Lil Dicky's.
I'm not. I can't say that. Right. I have no idea. I think 50 Cent did Power.
I think that's a no.
Yeah. I would.
They're not pitching sitcoms. Like
Oh, you know what's
aren't
interesting? You know what? Okay,
Lil
real
Dicky
quick.
is the only like.
Okay, real quick.
'Cause
So
it's
this
corny.
is like I don't agree with. I just want to point this out before I go down this road. I don't agree with what Eddie Griffin says. I think this is really anti-Semitic and wrong. With that being said, he had apparently recently Seth Rogen in his newest book talked about how Eddie Griffin approached him and Jonah Hill after Superbad was made, talking about how he's been trying to make a movie for years and how it bugged him that Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill did it. And then they were like, "Oh, that sucks." And I'm not gonna lie, like sadly, Eddie Griffin made it very anti-Semitic for some reason and try to blame it on the fact that they're Jewish. I don't agree with that. I do believe it's because he's an African American and they are Caucasian. I do think it is much
yeah, but
easier.
This is based on nothing.
Like Eddie Griffin
Like
feeling that way, but like Eddie Griffin
you,
did. Okay.
Yeah, but you
Uh-huh.
haven't read what he wrote. Like, how do you know that it has merit over Superbad?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, what are the odds that most African American artists, most Latino artists, would talk about how difficult it is to sell their things, and a lot of white artists, there isn't that same complaint. There just isn't. Like, what? Do you want to disagree with that? You're gonna disagree with that?
I do disagree with that because
Okay.
I think, in general, for 80% of show business, it's difficult
Mhm.
to sell something. I think you're talking about survivorship bias, where obviously the ones who make it don't complain, and the ones who don't make it do complain.
Well,
But the ones
that's
who
not.
don't
That's
make it-
definitely not true.
The ones,
So
the ones
even
who
the ones
don't
that.
make it who
Mhm.
are white,
Mhm.
that they I mean they could complain, but it won't get any traction because there's nothing like behind it.
So let's see, that's not true. So even the ones that do make
I
it
agree
complain.
that it's harder. Trust me. I
No,
agree that it's
well,
harder
okay.
in
So, for
general,
example, for
but-
Donald Glover, when he did write and sell Atlanta, he admitted that it wasn't the show he pitched. That he pitched a completely different show and had to lie about it and was positive they were going to fucking cancel it and was shocked they kept it and he had to completely bullshit his way to it. He admitted that it was very difficult for African Americans to get their own show. He knew that they weren't going to like let him keep it and he thought they were going to cancel it, so then he wanted to make it his own within one season. He said he made his show and he said it was insanely difficult. No one wanted to make it. He had to fucking force it down FX's throat. So no, he also made like a Deadpool show that shit got canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how networks work for every race.
But
though.
dude, like Jordan, but there's Jordan Peele talks about this too. Like there's a bunch of artists that do succeed in the industry who talk about my whole way here was a bullshit journey where I had to go through all this bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're probably not
I
gonna see eye to eye on
definitely
this.
think like there's racism in every industry, but I'm just saying like I don't necessarily understand like the gatekeeping of like this person should have gotten it over this person. Like
I'm
he
not
wrote
saying
a good
that.
pilot
No,
and it got
I'm
picked
not
up.
saying. I'm not saying
no,
that.
but you're saying like he's not right to represent the culture.
That's not what I'm saying either.
You literally did.
No,
say
what I'm
that.
saying is I wish it would have been a more traditional one. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I would have. Again, he's very talented.
But
He's very
generally,
funny.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, like generally, like I think these companies are not inherently evil, especially now. They're so progressive, and like the number one thing is money motivation. It's not like
Yep.
race motivation. I genuinely think if somebody pitched a black show that sold, like, I don't know. From my perspective, like, from when I interned at Warner, like,
Yep.
they love that. Like, they're craving it. So
So,
I can't imagine that they would like be racist in that way because they just
Yep.
value money at the end of the day.
I see what you're saying, and I think that's why we are going to. I disagree, and this is why I'm going to disagree with you. I do see what you're saying, and I think, first off, I think it's fake progressivism. I don't think that they actually give a shit. I do think it's more about money,
Well, they care about
and
the money, yeah.
I think it's about money. And so a couple things, and there's two things to that. The first thing is, usually it's much easier to sell a white based film and a male based film. To prove this, for the film Sicario, for
Yeah.
example,
80,
well, for the film
80%
Sicario,
of people are white.
well, yeah. So for the film, well, honestly, for the film Sicario, for example, it was led by Emily Blunt. She's a Caucasian woman, and originally the studio pushed for them to have a male lead. They wanted to have just a white male lead, and the director said no because the book it's based off of she's a woman. It was important that she was a female officer, and they ended up slashing their budget in half because of it. And as someone who's been in film school, who does do a lot of creative things, and I have a lot of my classmates, most of them are Caucasian or Asian, and they're great people, they're nice people, very liberal, very progressive. The problem I realized very quickly is that it's not a thing of being liberal or being woke. It's none of those things. It's literally lack of understanding. And I realized really quickly that there are really basic parts of culture, like there's jokes, there's sense of humor, there's struggle, that it's a lot easier for certain groups to get than others. This is such a specific example, but I recently wrote a script where there's a character who's on the fence about joining the military. Now, I know a lot of people, especially where I'm from, that joined the military. About a quarter of my high school went to the military. I know a lot of friends who are in the military, a lot of family members who joined the military. My stepfather was a veteran. With all that being said, I know a lot about veterans, and I know a lot of people who join. They're really normal people. You would know them, I would know them. You wouldn't think anything extra of them. And what I thought was so interesting was when I showed this to my class, I realized at NYU no one knows veterans. Most of these people are from places where no one joins the military. They've actually had conversations with me about this. So when I said this script, they were like, "Well, shouldn't he be serious?" And I was like, "Why would he be serious?" And well, he's joining the military. And I was like, why? That they're people. And I know that's a specific example, but when it comes down to race, it's even worse. I mean, when it would be stuff like sense of humor, or when it would be sense of humor is such a big one, or what's allowed, discussions, topics, masculinity, those kinds of things, there is not the same level of understanding. It genuinely, you would just be confused. I don't think it's meant to be racist. I think that
I don't get the connect this to the.
If you're a white rapper, you're able to write a show that white people will be able to read and go, "Oh, I completely understand where you're coming from," and that's a great thing. I'm not saying it's bad. That's great. He's able to write a show from his perspective without having to think about it. That's just a show, and he's able to go, "This is what my life is like. This is my view," and other Caucasian people are able to read this and go, "I completely understand what this is." That's easy to understand. If you were to be an African American person and do the same exact thing, and again, I'm Latino, you'd get the same thing where people would read this and go, "I don't get it. I don't understand this. This doesn't mesh. I don't understand," and it's so much harder to sell.
Well,
Dude, but the way that these are sold is that someone reads it. People read these and then they go, "Is this good? Is this bad? Do you get it?" Literally, that's how that goes. They have a bunch of
right.
scripts, and
But do you think that since they are we're talking about a minority culture, don't you think numerically it makes sense that it would be less people who understand it and are ingrained in the culture?
what do you mean?
There are a lot more white people, and
Right.
they don't have a great perspective on black culture. So
Right.
I don't understand why it's so surprising that it's harder to sell a show that's
But I'm not saying it's surprising. I'm just saying that that's frustrating. I'm not saying it's surprising. I understand it completely.
But it makes.
But
how
that's
are you supposed to fix that?
But I'm not saying it's. Of course it makes sense. I'm saying I just explained why it makes sense. I know you know why it makes sense, but that's what makes it frustrating. What makes rap such an amazing art form that me and you love so much is that they're able to be storytellers that talk about very serious personal issues, and they're able to do these in amazing ways, right? When we listen to J. Cole, oh my god, I'm trying to think. Fire Squad. Fire Squad is so fucking good, and every fucking lyric in it, you're just
These days, it's almost getting opposite because white kids want to be black so bad right now.
Dude, they always, but yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Paul Mooney
right
as Paul
now
Mooney
is rap.
Yeah.
Rap is everything, and
it's not Paul Modi perfectly said one time. Like, he said this in 2001 that everybody wants to be a black person, but no one wants to be a black person. Like it's still you still lack
Yeah.
empathy. You still lack those things. So it's always gonna be difficult. I agree, it's always gonna be difficult.
Yeah, but
What
like,
I would, yep.
have you been on TikTok? It's all like kids wanting to act that way and consume things that like
But it's just,
people in black culture consume.
but it's
So like,
the,
I think
yep.
that they are interested in watching that sort of content.
I do. Okay, to begin with, I completely agree. I think people are genuinely would want to see that content. Black Panther sold really well. I think that I think studios should be more open to trying letting new artists do things and see if it works. I think that could really work. With that being
But
said,
we don't know if, yeah, okay.
well, the second thing I was going to say was, okay, so you brought up TikTok and people that I think that people like aspects of other cultures. I don't think it means that you actually like those people. Because we had a roommate, I'm not going to say the person's name, but the roommate used a lot of, he used a lot of like urban like dialect that I thought was funny. Like I understood the dialect he was using because I'm kind of used to it too, and like he did not like minorities. We like you know what I'm talking about. He
Yeah,
didn't like minorities,
I
but
don't think
it's
that
that's
it's
common, dude.
irrelevant.
Now that's totally common. That's so common.
No,
People
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's not. Like, I don't think it changes anything about what we're talking about.
what I'm saying is you could like parts of other people's culture and still not have empathy and still not want to see their shit get made. Like
But they do want to see their shit get made. Like, the majority of these, like, if you see why, like, The Box is #1 on Billboard, it's white people.
yeah, but like good music's good music, right?
To some extent, like,
You don't think the
there's
box
good
is like a fun song?
no, I love The Box. I'm
Right.
saying, like, for things to get like, there's good music that doesn't get popular. For something to get popular, it needs something else.
I just think that because I mean this isn't some weird diss like on Caucasians or any group. I just think that it is a shame that a genre that is based in the struggles and in the perspective of African Americans at least didn't get that to begin with. I just think it's a bit it sucks. I think that sucks.
Don't you think that the genre has become a lot more than that, though? And also, like, I feel like it's a weird gatekeep, because, like, are you these days, do you feel like, I'm not saying that I'm, like, the most in tune with the culture, obviously, but, like, do you feel like you are in tune with, like, what's popping and what's not right now?
I'm just well. First off, I think it's still overwhelmingly predominantly African Americans, and like
Yes,
I'm not trying
of
to
course.
gatekeep. I'm just saying like I like again I'm Mexican. I know it's and you're Brazilian. Like we have stuff in our culture, and like imagine like if like they're gonna do a thing like on like Pele and like or like on soccer like and just like like and like not even like Pele they're gonna do like on international soccer and we just completely disregarded Brazil the entire time or like we disregarded Mexico Brazil and we focused on like some like Manchester
But that's not
no
what
not
that is
Manchester
at
it'd be
all.
some like random motherfuckers it would not even
That's
Manchester
not what that
Manchester's
is at
known
all. What it would
what do
be
you
is
think
like
it is
if we wanted to make a documentary on international soccer and it was a guy from Costa Rica who made it and it was about the World Cup but from Costa Rica's perspective, I wouldn't be pissed. I'd be like, I mean, like yeah, this is still an accurate show about the World Cup.
I see what you're saying I do I guess I just like I'm not trying to say this. We really, I
They
forgot
were
where
in the
this
World
began.
Cup. They were in the World Cup, so it's like yeah, it's still a show about it.
Yeah, no, because he's a rapper and he's a very successful one. I guess it just, it just seems like, I'm trying to say this, like, it seems like a missed opportunity. I'll finish it like that, because we do have to finish this off. Sadly, we have to finish this episode off quickly. But go ahead. I'll say it's missed opportunity. Do you want to respond? I don't want to cut you off. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, I think that there's there's room for that show to exist. That's it.
I'll say this: if in 10 years we have a bunch of new rap shows or just more shows where we have more perspective of African Americans and Latinos and Asians, I'll have no problem with Dave. It's just currently right now, I was like, that's kind of a shame, but that's
Yeah, but
fine.
I did. Okay, I don't know how much you want to continue this, but like, I disagree with, like the reason you think that there's not more. Like, I think networks are craving that stuff right now. Like, at
Mhm.
least when I was there, they were like literally like looking for HBCU games that they could stream, like just to get an inkling of like connecting with that demographic. But like, I genuinely think if it was pitched right now, like it's literally all companies care about is money. So like,
Yeah, I think but it's wait, fuck. Wait, last little thing. I think what makes it tough for artists is that you want it to be you, but you have to be able to sell it to wider audiences, and that kind of sucks. And it feels like it's only us that have to do that. So for example, well, okay, Uncut Gems is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not Jewish. I'm not from New York. I don't know shit about jewelry. I know a little bit about betting just from like my friends, but I'm not a bettor either. That's a fucking amazing movie. I have nothing in common with that man, and I love that movie. Moonlight is set in Florida. He's African American. Completely new area. Completely different life from mine. Completely love that movie. Right? Like the Dark Knight is about a billionaire man just like a bat who beats up people.
yeah,
Nothing in
well,
common with him. But what I'm trying to say is, like, it is frustrating that it does feel like, and I mean, as someone who's experienced this, that when you make it true to yourself and true to you who you are, that when you show it to people, people go, well, I don't get it. Like, and not like the point, but
yeah,
they're just
well,
like,
well,
it's
two things to that.
frustrating.
Like,
Yeah.
first, I don't necessarily agree with that. These days, you need to have everything appeal to a wide audience. Like the internet
I'm not,
makes it so niche little shows can definitely thrive. Like the last OG, like that's not a
That's
wide
what it is.
audience at all. But
Yeah.
it still exists. But like second, even if that were the case, like it needed to appeal to a wide audience, it sounds like you're saying that like networks should go against their interest. Then, if you're saying like these shows don't sell, then like why would they make them?
hmm what I would argue is that they could sell if, not if pushed, but if given the opportunity. I think they're not given the opportunity because I think there's a fear that they won't be able to sell. But I
Well,
think it.
I think that's definitely the opposite, right? Because they test them. That's how they figure out if they sell or not. They don't just guess.
But I mean, but you have to be picked up first. They have to be read, then picked up, then given a plot, then given a pilot, and the pilot is tested, and then it goes around. That's how that works. And I off of what I've heard, and off of what I've experienced amongst just my peers, my stories that do really well. Usually, I don't not try to, but like sometimes, I mean, you've read some of my scripts. Some of my scripts completely don't have. I mean, none of my scripts touch on race. I mean, I don't. It's not my forte. I don't really go into my ethnicity very often. In my scripts, I don't think it's important. But I do think that there's some moments where like it's just like, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is the less I touch on anything that's more me, the easier it is for them to be like, oh, this is fucking great. And if there's any kind of points, like there's one I wrote where again you couldn't really tell what race they were, right? I don't do that because I don't care what I cast these people as, but it was a bit more like how I was raised, and it was a bit more my humor, and they still thought it was funny, but a lot of them were like, that was weird, that was weird, that was weird, I wouldn't do this, and it was just like, that's so frustrating, and I don't think they mean it in a racial way. I know they don't. I don't think they mean it like, oh, this is too anything, because it wasn't like they were speaking Spanish or anything. But
I don't think that's necessarily a good representation of how that would work like to a network, but that's fine.
well, to networks you have literally it's just like a couple people who read these scripts, and if they don't like it, they don't like it, and just moves on.
But they're thinking about their audiences, which they could be trying to reach like a minority demographic, and I don't think they would turn down the money.
I genuinely think if you just no, I don't think it's racism. I really don't think it's racism. I really think, especially in a script, it's so hard to tell tone. Tone's such a specific thing, and fuck, we gotta move on. Fuck, but I see where you're coming from, and I understand what you mean. But I think it's an interesting discussion.
Do you think we should save the overrated for next time? This is about to be like.
Yeah. We'll begin next. We'll do the next. We'll begin the next podcast with our underrated. Well, we'll finish off overrated and underrated. We should probably wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because it's an interesting topic, and it's something that obviously we're both passionate about. And I obviously I respect your opinion. I do see where you're coming from. It makes sense, but I understand the frustration part of it too. But I get it.
Same.
Yeah.
Same exact same.
Okay. This is a great episode. Thank you for listening. Shout out to Eric and Jason. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And We'll see you
Shout out
guys.
Yolanda.
Shout out Yolanda. Shout out Jack. Shout out all those motherfuckers. We love all you guys. And we will see you guys whenever we do the next podcast. Either we'll see if probably next week. Probably next week. It looks like we had a lot to talk about, so we'll probably end up doing it next week.
We should stream these on Twitch. I feel like that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do a Twitch. We'll update you guys in the next episode. That Twitch sounds like fucking fun.
Peace
Okay.
out.
See you guys.